I bleed silver and black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a raider for life. 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 I'm a raider for life.
Touchdown, Raiders! What's going on, Raider Nation? It's your immature and emotional host, Mikey Raider, coming to you with a new video. Unfortunately, I hurt my foot this past couple days, so I have to sit down even more than normal and lay down, and I'm not able to really get around and edit or do anything on my PC, probably for a couple more days at least. But that being said, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member on this channel if you feel like supporting your emotionally immature host, Mikey Raider, in his endeavors. And yeah, you'll get early content hopefully in the coming weeks. And there's merchandise down below from my career, from Raiders, parody type stuff. Check it out. All the description and the links down below to support and donate and whatever. All right. A lot of people are not going to want to watch this video. A lot of people are going to tell me not to talk about it, to move on, this and that. And that's what I'm hoping to do in this video. That's 100% what I'm hoping to do. Okay? I'm going to talk a lot about Derek Carr in today's video. I'm going to defend him on some accounts because I am a fan and I respect what he tried to do for the Raiders. I'm also going to be truthfully and brutally honest and critical when it comes to the way he reacts and to what he's saying publicly and all that other stuff. Basically, the question I'm asking is, why and how has Derek Carr become the #1 enemy to the Raiders and the Raider Nation? How did it happen? This is going to be a video of talking, studying the human being, studying the fans' reactions, Derek Carr's reactions, the media lies, and all that other stuff. There's not going to be any graphics, any special effects, all of that other amazing Wi-Fi Willy stuff and other video makers. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to try not to be as emotional as I am, and I'm just going to try to point this out from an observation standpoint. And why a lot of us need to not be triggered. A lot of us are emotionally immature, even the fan base, and a lot of us need to think with clear heads and clear eyes. And why and how the heck did Derek Carr become the #1 villain to the Raiders? All right, let's start with a study of the man, Derek Carr. His brother was a quarterback, vaunted into the NFL, into stardom with the Houston Texans. There is video out there of Derek Carr defending his brother, sitting on a chair when his brother was going into the NFL, and the reporter said something bad about David, and then Derek Carr defended him. No, my brother is the best quarterback ever, or something like that, to that effect. Derek Carr, from an early age, whether he was bullied upon or whatever, felt the need to defend criticism and hatred. That is in the core of his being. And he's always came from money, whether it be his brother or his family or whatever. And I'm not calling him spoiled, but it appears that way at certain times in his life. He comes from money, and a lot of good things have happened throughout his life. And That being said, I feel he was born into a little bit of a spoiled lifestyle where he felt the need to defend everybody in his family and himself growing up, and he is insecure and immature. And long story short, his dreams are bigger than his reality. But he wants those dreams to come true. He wants to be compared to the likes of Brady, or, he wished his brother would as well. But those dreams did not really come to fruition because they're just apparently not good enough. Okay? That's okay. But Derek Carr's dreams and his family's dreams have not come to fruition. They've all been answered. He wanted to become a Raider. He's proud to be on the Raiders. They've all been answered. Everything he's wanted has came to him. But he also wanted further from that. He wanted, the dreams to be reality. He wanted to be compared to Tom Brady, or he probably wants to be a Hall of Famer. He wanted to be the greatest Raiders quarterback of all time. He wants to be beloved. He wants to be the Kobe for the Raiders. And again, I'm not debating the fact whether he cannot do it. He can't. Okay? It didn't come into fruition for whatever reasons. He had the ability on certain days, and then other days he's lost it. But then when he gets called out critically, people say he doesn't take accountability. He does to a certain extent. He takes accountability as far as it can go. He doesn't look within enough. But again, he doesn't want to portray weakness to the public. So if you constantly say that you're to blame and this is why you said what you said, and it looks weak. And that's what Derek Carr did to himself publicly. Derek Carr took accountability for all the bad games, and he said, put it on me, put it on me. Okay? But then, overall, he ends up looking weak because it technically didn't get better, or he didn't reach the elite status that he wanted to. Then critique came with the job. Multiple head coach changes. You guys know the history. Okay? Derek Carr wanted to win, and there was a lot of turmoil around him. There was. And on many occasions, he pulled through like a champ. He faces adversity good at many times in his life. And he builds bonds with players and coaches many times in his life. Better than a lot of quarterbacks that I've seen as of late. He's a church-going man and all that. Like I said, his life is good. He does take accountability. But when he is failing and he knows it, he doesn't want to admit it or see it or talk about it. So then when the critics like Stephen A. Smith or reporters or the fans or anything start talking about his problems and the mistakes he is making, he doesn't know how to take it. It hurts his soul. It hurts his being as a human. And he doesn't handle it so well. But he looks within his heart and he tries to do and say all the right things publicly, at least early on. But when he gets hurt, he gets defensive. I'm going to be honest. I feel that me and Derek Carr are the same person emotionally. We are both emotionally immature. Everything that I see from Derek Carr, defending things, taking accountability, but then looking weak to the public, That's me. I feel we're the same human being. So believe me, I'm talking from a truthful standpoint. And when it comes to football, many of you don't care. I don't want to see emotions. I don't want to see the truth. I don't want to see the reality. I don't want to see the pain. Just get on the field, throw your damn touchdowns, and get the Raiders a victory. That's all I frickin' care about. That is the culture nowadays. Okay? And again, you can't look weak to a culture that is judging you. And that is what Derek Carr ran into. Myself included, as an actor, my career, my YouTube channels, whatever accomplishments I've done in my life. I probably can never live up to them again. And that's the same route Derek Carr is possibly on. But Derek Carr gets defensive and feels the need to defend himself, his problems, as he doesn't want to look inward. Because when you honestly look inward, even though publicly he says he's looking inward, he's not really looking inward when he takes accountability. When he says, oh, put the blame on me. Because when he looks inward, it scares him. The fans are starting to dislike him. The reporters are not praising him, which he dreams of having, which he dreams of being that prized superstar quarterback for the Raiders. And it didn't come to fruition these last few years of his career. Hence why he has become negative as well as defensive and shying away from the Raiders organization. But ever since he was vaunted into stardom with the Raiders by being drafted, then getting the starting job in week 1 that year, then within 2 years almost becoming an MVP candidate, and taking the Raiders to their first playoff victory, or to their first playoffs in like 14 years, it went to his head. He started believing his own poo-poo. Okay? We do that sometimes. We want to believe what everybody's telling us. Oh, Mikey Raider, you're the GOAT. Oh, Mikey Raider, you're the best. Oh, Mikey Raider, you started this stuff. Oh, Mikey Raider, you did this. You did that. You're the GOAT. We love you. You're forever the guru. Problem is, I believe that shit. And Derek Carr did the same thing. He started believing when he started getting all the stats. And, he was an MVP candidate. He went to Pro Bowls. He started feeling himself. Okay? He started feeling himself. But at the same time, going through adversity, defending himself, head coaches, changes, bad defense, all the excuses. I don't really call them excuses. I call them additions to his career that did hinder Carr on many occasions. Carr is to blame on many occasions as well. People want him to admit that. He's not going to. I don't want to admit that I'm a failure, that I may never act again, that I F up sometimes and get lazy and eat Doritos and watch TV. I'm a public figure as well as Derek Carr. Do I need to admit that? No. But moments like this, like that has all happened to Derek Carr, he can be better publicly at taking accountability. And he's not doing that because he's in pain. He is really, really hurt still. Carr holds the pain in forever. People say, get over it, move on, you're in a better situation. I know what Carr is going through. I know exactly everything he's feeling emotionally. I'm the same person. I never forget. You say one wrong thing to me, first off, I'll yell at you, I'll try to defend it. Then I'll look withinward and see if I'm actually the problem or if you're actually correct at what you told me. And even if you are correct and I'm wrong, I'm still going to hate you. Forever. I'm still going to remember that quote. But what if you are actually wrong? Then I'm going to feel the need to defend myself, prove you're fucking wrong, and I'm going to do it publicly at that moment of rage. 10 years down the line, if I didn't even say anything at that moment, if I let it simmer, 10 years down the line, everything's good, my life is better, and I see that person say something that I don't like or anything like that again, guess what? I'm going to remember that shit. 10 years later, I'll make a video. Yeah, remember what you did, you effing dude? You told me the shit. You were wrong back then, and you're wrong now. That's how Derek Carr is. He holds everything deeply and too long. He lives in the feelings. Whether that's anxiety, a brain that doesn't stop, or whatever. That's what Derek Carr does. And we don't want to be told how to grieve. We don't want to be told how to feel. We don't want to be told how to handle our emotions. And we just want to prove that we're right in every instance, even if we're wrong. And we hold shit against people or teams or organizations when sometimes it's best to let it go. So that's the case study of Derek Carr's emotional brain and body and soul and spirit. Doesn't mean he's a bad person. Doesn't mean he lies. Doesn't mean he's negative toward everybody else. Doesn't mean he purposely throws people under the bus after he supposedly took accountability. He just doesn't know or have the strength post all of the turmoil and trauma that he has felt in his life. Again, your trauma is different than my trauma, or your trauma is different than his trauma. For many of you, you got $125 or $150 million to be a Raider. Stop crying about it and move the hell on. The Raiders didn't insult you. The Raiders didn't, treat you badly. They did. They did treat him badly. They took away his dreams and his legacy that he dreamt of, and they did it in a public fashion. They treated Derek Carr poorly. Did Derek Carr deserve it? No human being deserves to be treated like that publicly. But the case study of that is, whether you agree or disagree that he wasn't treated poorly, he thinks he was, okay? I think he was treated poorly. I think if Josh McDaniels, regardless of Derek Carr messing up and we needed a change, I can understand that philosophy. We needed a change. It was time, whatever. But here's the truth of that. Josh McDaniels and the Raiders at many times lied to Derek Carr about their plans, or they hid their thoughts and opinions behind the scenes, and they told Derek Carr one thing up front, and then they did something different after. Long story short, Derek Carr, after Josh McDaniels finally started working with him, and then Derek Carr judged Josh McDaniels and saw that Josh McDaniels was calling Derek Carr out on all whatever bullshit he had, trying to get rid of Derek Carr's insecurities, calling him out publicly, not letting him to change the plays or not building the offense around Derek Carr. Derek Carr thought he was the MVP, the prized man of the Raiders, and that Josh McDaniels should adjust to Derek and bring Derek along for the ride as a friend to friend, as a mano a mano, and it didn't happen. Derek Carr was thinking McDaniels would be at least lovable to him like Gruden was. But he didn't. Gruden was supposed to be the hard ass with quarterbacks, but Gruden got old in age, then started treating Derek Carr as a human and a much better. Josh McDaniels is young, and Josh McDaniels believes his own bullshit. But Josh McDaniels ain't afraid to rally some feathers and do it his way. And he probably wanted to make Derek Carr the rookie again. You know, take a step back, shut the F up, learn a new system, do as you're told, and work in my system. And Derek Carr was like, man, I'm a veteran, I got MVPs, I got stats. How about you treat me a little bit better, like I'm not just some rookie. Treat me at least like I'm a veteran and you want to work with me. That's what happened. They didn't get along. Josh McDaniels wasn't willing to put Derek Carr on the same page. Derek Carr, after he realized what Josh was doing, it didn't make Derek Carr happy. So they butted heads, and Derek Carr would make every throw or every this with hatred or anger in his heart. So therefore, he made the statement a week or two ago that he didn't give the Raiders his best. It doesn't mean that he failed. It just means he was handcuffed in his mind by McDaniels and the system and everything else going on. And being treated like, just another, regular rookie quarterback in the system. Do as you're told. Shut up and dribble. Derek Carr didn't like that. Then we started losing, and Josh McDaniels started making some weird play calls, and, at the end of the game, and running the ball when they should have thrown it, and, again, going for a field goal, or not going for it on 4th down and 1, whatever it is. It constantly made Derek Carr angry. Maybe other players as well, but we're talking about Derek Carr. Derek Carr gave up because it wasn't getting better. McDaniels was making mistakes. Derek Carr didn't trust or believe in the system, didn't buy in, and then every mistake McDaniels made, Derek Carr was like, you see, you're right. In his mind, you see, you're right. You're a stupid coach, like the fans are saying. And again, Derek Carr's coming off a playoff year, the year before, with all that adversity. So Derek Carr didn't want to take a step back publicly from being the superstar in his mind. Josh McDaniels didn't treat him or give him anything special, which some people say that's good. That's the way you build men. So to Derek Carr's credit, he took accountability. He said, I didn't give the Raiders my best. He didn't throw McDaniels under the bus. He didn't give excuses in that statement. In that statement, he said, I didn't give the Raiders my best. I can respect that. Because it's true. For whatever reasons, he felt handcuffed. He just got mad at McDaniels, and in his mind, mentally, he quit on McDaniels. Not the team, but he quit on McDaniels. And he still tried to play his best. But again, with every play call later in the season, he just didn't like it. Then when that rookie coach that's never coached an NFL game in his life came in, beat the shit out of the Raiders and the defense, Derek Carr lost it. I'm not saying he played the greatest game that game or not, or he makes mistakes. But that game was Josh McDaniels to lose. And he lost it. Josh McDaniels lost it to a rookie coach, and the whole media was watching, and Derek Carr broke. Derek Carr, in his mind, was proven right about Josh McDaniels, and Mark Davis and nobody is talking about it. All they're talking about is Derek Carr, how he lost the game, how he threw a pass out of bounds in the end zone, whatever it was. Derek Carr was getting all the blame around that time. Now people started looking at Josh McDaniels, but at that time, that's when Derek Carr broke. Okay? Derek Carr broke. And that was the official moment that he gave up. And he cared so much in his heart. He didn't want to give up, but he knew he was. So that's why he made the press conference crying, emotional, which he is an emotional human being, albeit immature. And now that made him publicly look weak again to society, to the Raider fans and everybody. How dare you cry? There's no crying in football. Derek Carr wears his heart on his sleeve. And a lot of people can't accept that. They just want these people to be gladiators. But Derek Carr broke that day. He knew he was giving up. He had no future with Josh McDaniels. He felt like his time was coming to an end. It all hit him. It all hit him. He still went on the field, tried to play his best, but he did it while hating McDaniels, not buying into the system. He was trying to play for his teammates, but it just didn't come through. It's been the year prior, it was an emotional roller coaster where he was propped up and they went to the playoffs through adversity. Now this year, adversity comes and breaks him down. Albeit Derek Carr needed it in life, but they broke him down. So the way they treated him, if McDaniels had any heart or any family communication, regardless if him and Derek Carr like each other, and Derek Carr effed up in the Steelers game, Josh McDaniels should have had a heart-to-heart with Derek, and maybe they could have came to an agreement where, like Derek Carr said in a press conference just recently, he would have gave up the money to play the final 2 games for the Raiders. Well, the truth is, he wouldn't have been allowed to do that with Josh McDaniels. So his statement, even though it sounds ridiculous, he wouldn't have been given that opportunity. Okay? Now for the people that say, well, Derek Carr left the team. He could have stand on the sidelines and support his team on and all that other during that turmoil when he was felt mad or he felt disrespected or whatever. People are saying he quit on the team. He did not. He did not quit on the team. The coaching staff and the owner quit on Derek Carr, just like Derek Carr quit and broke weeks earlier. They all quit on each other. But Derek Carr didn't want to look like a bad quarterback, meaning a backup quarterback on the sidelines publicly. So once he was being benched, he was hurt. Josh McDaniels did not give him any options to be a part of the team. He just said, you're being benched. I guarantee you Josh McDaniels didn't say, grab a clipboard, be a part of the team, still come to the meetings. This is what I believe Josh McDaniels told Derek Carr. They benched him. They didn't give him any explanation. They said, we're going to go in a different direction. You're being benched. And then they probably said, we know there's a lot of emotions involved on your end because they know Derek Carr's immature and whatever. And they used the team against Derek Carr in that moment. That's what I believe. They probably said, Derek, I know there's a lot of emotions involved and you're feeling some sort of way. And all of this may become a bigger distraction to the team in the final 2 games. So let's try not to let it become a distraction as best as possible. I believe that's pretty much exactly how they told Derek Carr. So now Derek Carr's thinking, you're right. Should I show up, take a demoted role when I feel I'm a better quarterback than that? And I should be starting at least what is possibly my final 2 games? I believe I should. But now you're telling me I'm a distraction to my team? And in my heart, I don't want to be a distraction to them as much as I can try to avoid it. So, yeah, I'm hurt right now. I hate you. F you. I'm going home. You don't want me on the team? You're benching me? You don't care about me? I'm going home. Then when he went home, I guarantee you Derek Carr did not call the Raiders, or the Raiders didn't call him and say, hey, are you coming to practice? Are you going to be on the sidelines? No, they didn't. They didn't communicate with each other one effing bit. Derek Carr communicated with his teammates, and then Derek Carr is sitting at home, boiling, thinking, should I go back to the team? Should I stand on the sidelines? That'll be a demoted role. I'm going to look like a less of a quarterback publicly. Do I want to present that image? Or do I just want to say, fuck McDaniels, I'm done with him, I know the Raiders are done with me, and move the fuck on? That was the choice he made. It was a bad choice. He publicly should have fought, no matter how he looked, to get back on the field, even with a clipboard, and sit on the bench and root his team on and root on Jarrett Stidham. He made the wrong choice. But also he didn't want to be even more of a distraction and take the attention away from all the cameras that'll be on the field from Jarrett Stidham watching Derek Carr that entire game. So it's a 50-50 thing. But he made the wrong choice. The best choice is to keep your chin up, show up, support on your team no matter how you look publicly, because that way, through adversity, you don't sit at home and soak and soil, even though they did do you wrong, and they should have given you better options. As, one of the best Raider quarterbacks we've ever had statistically or whatnot, they should have given you options, but they didn't. And you should have fought for those options and made a better choice. Derek Carr chose poorly. But so did McDaniels and everybody else, the way they handled that. With lack of communication after they benched him. I guarantee you, they were like Derek Carr and they gave up on each other. They didn't give an F. All right, now to the all these little clips and quotes from Derek Carr recently are pissing off Raider fans worldwide. And now a lot of the Derek Carr fans or people that were 50-50 or whatever, now they're hating him even more. Derek Carr has officially become enemy number 1 to the Raiders. And I don't know why. But I understand feelings are valid. And Raider fans, do not let Derek, like we said, we did a retrospective on how Derek Carr feels and how he does things poorly. And this entire press conference for his charity, DC4 for Kids, with the Fresno Bee, go out and watch it, Derek Carr handled it poorly. Okay? He handled it poorly. I can defend every quote because I understand what Derek Carr is thinking and how he's feeling, and he's not over it. Derek Carr will never get over it. Like I said, he will hold it forever. But Derek Carr handled this press conference poorly. Again, I like watching Derek Carr's emotions. I like when he tells his side of the truth, how they made his family feel, or how he felt hurt. And then a lot of fans don't like that he throws out the stats. It doesn't matter. when you're an all-pro, go to Pro Bowls, you take this team to the playoffs, 2 times in the past, 7 years or 5 years. It doesn't matter if you have all the best stats, you're an MVP for the team, they can still get rid of you. People don't like that he throws his stats out there. Well, again, Derek Carr hasn't lived up with victories to the Raider Nation. And Derek Carr always is going to want to defend himself and what he has accomplished in his career for his favorite team. So he throws them out there to remind everybody, look, I know you hate me. I know I'm a fuck up. But I did some accomplishments. Can't you guys respect them? People don't like it when they throw accomplishments out there. It's a way of deflecting. So I understand the point. But Derek Carr has done that throughout his career in multiple press conferences. It's show and tell. Again, his career might be coming to an end, and he just wants to continually tell people, I did something for the Raiders. I didn't get victories. I didn't get Super Bowls. But I did something. Please love me for that. That's why he does it. But you can't do it, Carr. You can't talk about your accomplishments till you're done with your career. Then you can show pride in them. He handled it badly. Then the big quote that gets everybody up in arms, it gets the media talking, is when he made the quote about his wife. Again, he was laughing during all of this, trying to have a good time, trying to be tongue-in-cheek, but he's speaking from his pain, his hurt, his truth, and then he's trying to share the truth while not sharing it, and he's not looking within, and he doesn't want to admit that he failed at many moments as well, and he deflects, okay? He deflects. But the quote that everybody is getting upset, all up in arms about, is when he said, when they made my wife cry, it was over. I was done with it. Well, again, people don't even know the question that was asked before that. I believe, if I'm paraphrasing, the question before that statement from Derek Carr was to the fact that after he was benched, there was rumors that the Raiders might still ask him to come back and play for the Raiders in 2024. Again, I don't know if the Raiders were actually asking him that, if Josh McDaniels was asking him that, I do not know. But there were reports on ESPN, would Derek Carr play for the Raiders again? They're going to need a quarterback, this and that. So Derek Carr was asked about that rumors or whatever, about possibly playing for the Raiders again in 2024. And the true answer is no effing way, not the way they did me, not the way they hurt me, the lack of communication, everything that happened. That should have been his answer. But he doesn't want to say that because then it makes him look petty. But he answered it within his tongue-in-cheek humor. He's like, were you ever thinking about playing for the Raiders again? If they asked, or whatever the question was. Then he goes, they hurt me so badly, and his family cried. They probably, when Derek Carr cried that day and they broke him, Derek Carr's wife, they're mano a mano. They've had a family together. They had babies that were premature born and had stuff. They've been through everything together. Derek Carr and his wife are like this. They're probably both emotionally the same way. So when Derek Carr was hurt and benched and probably not given any options, they had a fight and she was crying because they realized the future with the Raiders was over. So she cried. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But when Derek Carr was asked that question, he's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to play for the Raiders again. You know, the minute they made him cry, he should have said it. Or the minute they dealt with me the way they did, that's what he should have said. But he went on to say, the minute they hurt my family and they made my wife cry, yeah, I was done. It's a no-go. Family is sacred, y'all. If anybody made your son, your daughter, your brother, your sister, your wife cry because they kind of did you dirty in a sense, you'd be done with them as well. You'd be done with them as well. It's a no-go. So Derek Carr's statement shouldn't be taken lightly. Who cares if his wife cried? He answered it truthfully. He's like, not only with me, but the minute, like, in addition to Derek Carr's feelings, the minute they made my wife cry, I was done with the Raiders. I had to move on. Then people are calling Derek Carr a liar now. Why? Because he said he wanted to retire a Raider. He doesn't want to play for any other team but the Raiders. But yet now he went to the Saints. He's a New Orleans Saint. Derek Carr effing lied. He never takes accountability. Derek Carr calls people out. He called out his own wife, made her look stupid. And now Derek Carr lied. Because he's playing for the Saints. If he was a true Raider, he would have retired and moved the F on. What? Are you an effing idiot? Think about what you guys are saying, these fans. Huh? If you get fired from your dream job due to poor performance and also because some of the people are actual uncommunicative assholes, and you get fired, but you always wanted to be at that company, you felt on retiring at that company, but you had everything happen to you that way, you expect me to go home and, they fired me, they let me go, I suck, my life is over, I can't disappoint the fans. I know I wanted to be a Raider my whole life, but I'm just going to sit at home. I had 9 good years. I wanted to go to a Super Bowl. I wanted to win playoff games. I wanted to be better than I was. But now, I'm no longer a Raider. They benched me. I have to retire. I have to go out like a chump. I have to not possibly get revenge in my own mind. I have to keep my word. You know, that's what I promised Raider fans. So in the quote, Derek Carr said he had to move on, and it lit a fire in him. Then people say, well, it should have lit a fire in you 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Oh my God, relax, guys. I'm not a real Raider. Then, again, I'm proud for Derek Carr. I'm proud he's going to the Saints. He's going to play for the coach that drafted him. Good. It started with Dennis Allen. It's probably going to end with Dennis Allen. Derek Carr's in a better situation. I don't care what anybody says. Okay? He got handed to him another good opportunity to prove the doubters wrong and to be a better quarterback with hopefully a better defense and a better overall stable organization. So I'm rooting him on. So to the people that say, you're just a Carr stan, you're not a real Raider fan, you can't even talk about Derek Carr's name, blah, 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 blah. Why can't we root on a human being? Why can't we root him on? When he plays for the Raiders, I don't want him to do good. But I enjoyed him. He was one of the first football players to follow my channel. He sent me sermons on Twitter when I was depressed to make me feel better. So I like the guy. I love the guy. I'm rooting for him. Does that make me biased? Yes, it does. But I'm still critical enough to say I'm glad he moved on. It was necessary. It gave the Raiders a possibility of change because he was the common denominator in a lot of those years, and we couldn't beat Kansas City. Okay? It's all about wins, and I understand that. But I want Raider fans to respect the notion of once a Raider, always a Raider. A lot of Raider fans are hating. They're saying they're done with Derek Carr because of these comments were taken out of context. But Derek Carr did make a big mistake in revealing more of his truth or his identity. And it's pissing and rubbing almost everybody the wrong way. Derek Carr needs to deal with all of this better. He doesn't know how to, and I forgive him for that. Everybody wants Derek Carr to be the better man and move on and not talk about it and not throw people under the bus or not talk about his stats or whatever these comments are. And I agree. It rubbed me the wrong way. But when I look into who Derek Carr is, and I think I do know, I understand where he is coming from. It's not good. Everything he said and did was the wrong way. He should have just toed the line, but he's still effing hurt. And he wants revenge on McDaniels and the Raiders and some of the Raider fans because he's hurt. He might not heal for many years, if ever. It's okay though. But I just ask the fans, if you consider yourself a true Raider, it's okay to critique players. It's okay to critique and have your opinions, whatever they are, and your thoughts. That's your fandom. But please try to learn who that person is that you're getting mad at. Please try to find any empathy, love, and respect. If even they say something that makes you mad or whatever, and please try to respect what they tried to do for you, the team, or whatever. Please try to respect it and wish them well. Because if you're a true Raider fan, you're not going to fight and be divisive with everybody else for having a varying opinion. You're going to wish Derek Carr the best, regardless if you like him or you don't. And you're going to say, you know what? You tried your best. It's time to move the F on. And I don't care what you say about the Raiders or anything about that time. And I'm not even... So you're... Again, this is one of the things. These people are telling Derek Carr to be the better man, to not speak like that, to not talk about it, or, not bring up that type of stuff. When you, yourself, that's getting mad and yelling at Derek Carr, didn't take your own advice. Why don't you be the bigger man and not even retort or respond to it? Again, if you want him to do that and be the better man, you got to do it as well. But then people say, you're a video maker, you're a content creator, we got to talk about it. No, we don't. We don't. We do it because it makes us emotional. It gives us a story. It's clickbait. It's good for the views. It gets everybody riled up. So we enjoy the drama as well. All you video makers admit it. It's good for business. But if you're just a fan on Twitter or you don't do anything like that, take your own advice. Take your own advice. But then if you don't take your own advice, it's because you like the drama too. But I'm just hoping everybody can try to live in that statement that you think of once a Raider, always a Raider. People that say, no player is above the shield. Everybody's making Derek Carr out to be better than the shield. Defend the shield! Defend the shield! Guys, I ask you, when the shield is stabbing you, taking your money, creating drama, turmoil, getting rid of your other friends, in some very varying bad ways. And when your shield is stabbing you, getting rid of your friends, creating more enemies, how long can you defend it? How long can you defend it? Sometimes the shield can be knives and create wounds. So you got to change the shield. And I'm not talking about changing teams. I'm talking about change your philosophy of that said shield. Then you got to turn inward. I'm not defending the Raiders anymore. I'm not defending Mark Davis anymore. I'm not defending Josh McDaniels anymore. I'm going to try not to defend Derek Carr anymore. I'm going to do my best, but I will fail at many times. But I'm no longer going to defend the shield against former players or fans or whatever. I'm changing my philosophy of that shield. It's like the Matrix. If that shield is stabbing you, causing you pain in life, you need to step away. Or you need to remove that shield for a time. Or you can do like the Matrix. Is it really a shield? Is the shield there? The trick is there is no shield. There's only family, love, and positivity. And that's what Raider Nation truly is at its core. The team is an addition to us loving family members. And fun and respect. And this fan base has turned toxic, myself included, with negativity toward coaches, players, and this and that. And I will try my best to bring it to a more positive light in the months ahead. When I'm struggling in life to pay my bills and to make money health-wise, I tend to go to the negative. I tend to make videos that are negative because I'm negative in my life. And I think those negative videos sometimes get a lot of views. But I got some money for the next 3 months, 4 months to pay my bills. My health has been feeling a little bit better, except for my foot. And I'm feeling more positive. So, I'm going to try to bring back some positivity in the next few videos. And I will no longer defend the shield. I'm going to place the shield to the side. I'm going to say it doesn't exist. And I'm just going to represent my fandom for the future and the hopefulness of the team and for everybody to do good in the future, even Josh McDumbutt. And I want the family to come together. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a long-winded one talking about Derek Carr. And all I can say is please don't make Derek Carr the villain any longer, even though he is having a hand in making himself the villain, and I understand that. But let's just wish him well, and let's try to look internally and be a better person. Okay? I'm sure I'm going to talk about Derek Carr in the future, because I am going to be wishing him well, because I have a vengeful nature as well against McDaniels and the way I feel Derek Carr was treated. So I'm rooting for Derek Carr. But I'm never rooting for Derek Carr against the detriment of our team. Never. I love you, Raider Nation. God bless you. And I hope you actually watch this entire video. Please, in the comments below, let me know. Right, I gotcha. To let me know that you watched this entire video and you are an amazing soul and I freaking love you. Let's go, Raider Nation. Let's go, Raiders. And let's put together a winning product. Because like all the fans said at the end of last year in all those signs, we deserve better. And another way you can support me, the creator of this content, is checking out my merchandise store with the links below. We got t-shirts for sale. Anything that I got available, I'm going to get it to you. Like Donkey Lips t-shirts. You love Donkey Lips. They come in a variety of colors. Why don't you pick yourself up one? Hey, become a camper, camp on Awana. Pick up an personalized autographed photo sent to you. I also have cameos available that also come with a personalized autographed photo shout out sent to you from Cameo. And right now, limited Zeke the Plumber Plushy Nightmare t-shirts. That's right. Everything's limited. Everything's on sale. Support your boy, Michael Ray Haybauer. Links down below.
I bleed silver and black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a raider for life. 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 I'm a raider for life.